Alright, what is going on everyone? It is Super here, and I'm bringing you guys another video showing off a specific character variation. If you guys have missed my last couple, make sure you guys check them out. The last one is actually going to be linked in the description. It was Unstoppable Jason. It was a lot of fun. But today's episode is going to be on High Tech Jacqui Briggs. And this is a variation that you literally never see. Like, I don't think I've ever seen someone use this specific variation up until maybe a couple days ago when I saw a pro player called DJT use High Tech Jacqui, and it looked a lot of fun. So, you know, I tried it out myself and actually really like the character. She has a lot of good stuff with this variation. It might actually, in the right hands, be her best variation, especially if they like give it a little bit of more of a buff later on. And I'm gonna go into what are the positives and negatives about this variation. So let me first start off with the positive, right? Let's start the video off with some positive stuff. First of all, she has a sick ass brutality. So you guys see right there, she has her gauntlets, I think they're called, and you charge them up. It has 2 charges. One level obviously just gives her more damage whenever she uses punch attacks, and then once you enhance it the second time, it just increases the damage and chip even more. So if you have the gauntlet, the first level or the second level, and you do her ground pound, it turns into an unblockable, and it just completely shatters their legs. It's a really sick brutality, and it could be a really good tool, because if you're like poking and stuff and you try to jump over and they're blocking, you hit them with the unblockable. They never expect that. I got so many people with that. It was you know, it was pretty good. You'll probably get them like maybe once or twice, but you know, they'll figure it out. If the gauntlet is charged, definitely jump out of the way, because you know, it's an unblockable. But then she has a ground pound cancel, and that could be very useful as well. You could you know, try to bait them into jumping back, or just neutral jump punching or something like that, and you could whip punish them. So, you know, it becomes a mind game, and that's what pretty much this variation of Jacqui is. You have to be very smart on how you play. She has the run cancels that you guys are going to see me do, you know, pretty much every single match. It's the best part of this variation, because she actually has strings that leave her plus on block. So whenever you do a run cancel, you pretty much you have a lot of plus frames, and she turns into a frame trap machine. And the cool thing about this variation is, of course, you could just let the gauntlet blast roll, and it's +2 on block, which is really good. It doesn't have too much pushback, but the bad thing about Jacqui is her limbs are really short. Like her down 1, it barely has any range, so that's where you're gonna run into problems. And I'll talk a little bit more about like the negative stuff about just Jacqui in general as a character a little bit later in the video, but want to continue the positive stuff first. So I think her best run cancels are off her like bread and butter string, which is 1-2-1-2. If you get a hit, like if you land the jab, I would say do a cancel after 1-2-1, because it leaves you +22 on hits. So pretty much you could do you know, anything you want, any like sort of combo, because you are +22. So it's really good. Her damage is still pretty low mid screen. Even if you have like the gauntlet charged, I think the most you could get mid screen would be like, I don't know, 33%, something like that, which is absolutely not bad. Like it's really not bad, but a lot of times I find myself not having the gauntlet charged. So I was getting like 27%, 25%, 24% combos mid screen, which is okay. But you know, when you have characters that could easily get 40% meterless, it becomes a little bit hard. You know what I mean? One really cool thing about Jacqui that I like is if you meet someone air to air with a jab, you could convert that into, I don't know, like 26%, which is really good. Like from an air to air, that's really fucking good. And you guys are definitely gonna see me do that a lot in this video, convert air to airs into like 22+%, which is pretty nice. But I think the best feature, obviously, of this variation of Jacqui is her run cancels with the gauntlet, her block pressure. All this is actually a true block string. You cannot armor through her bread and butter combos that lead into the gauntlet spark, which is awesome because it gives you a lot of meter and it gives you a lot of chip damage, which is awesome in MKX because a lot of people do not use block breakers. So one thing that I really like to do with Jacqui is use 2 strings that actually leave the opponent jailed, which means that they cannot do an armor reversal move. It won't come out because you have so many plus frames that, you know, they can't even get their reversal out before you could get your move out first. So the only ones that jail your opponent, if you do them, the links are pretty tight, especially online. But you know, it's definitely not impossible. Back 1-4, if you do a tight cancel, it leaves your opponent jailed. And the only other thing that does that is her overhead, which is a lot easier because the overhead, you know, normally leaves your opponent on a lot of block stuns. So that one's not as hard, not as tight of a link. So it's definitely good. The overhead cancel or gauntlet cancel, and then you start your pressure with her jab. You know, you go into your 1-2-1-2 string and you continue to do that. And if you get the run cancel timing right, you could actually get 2 revolutions of block pressure, which is awesome because that takes like 10% chip and it builds you almost a full bar of meter. So that's definitely really strong in this variation. In the corner, she could get a lot of damage even without the gauntlet spark, because you could go into you know, for example, if I land a back 3-3, which is the low mid, you know, and you run cancel into 1-2-1, and then you do her special move that launches, you could get some really good damage and cool looking combos as well. I probably get, you know, a couple here in this video, but when you have the gauntlet charge, like in the corner, you get up to like 45-50% with like 1 bar, and it's pretty fucking cool. The combos just look sick, man. I always like run cancel stuff. I just you know, prefer not to use those type of characters online because of the lag and stuff, but I love Jacqui, man. She is one of my favorite female characters in the game, right behind Kitana and Tanya. I think Jacqui's my 3rd favorite female character. So, you know, I love the character. So even though this specific variation might be the hardest variation that I've ever played online, it was so much fun, man. It was a good time. And right there, that's the air there that I was talking about. Landed a jab in the air, converted into 23%. So now let's talk a little bit about the negatives. Oh, before I go into the negatives, I just want to mention, if you guys are going to use this variation, definitely control your spacing right, because you could get a lot of whiff punishes with back 1-4, because even though it's like a 17 frame startup move, the back 1 is a 17 frame startup move. If you control your spacing, it goes into a really long reaching mid into low, and I caught a lot of people with that when they're trying to jump in, and I control my spacing right and I whiff punish them with back 1-4 into, you know, run cancel into a combo. So it was definitely really good. So definitely use that string and control your spacing. But now let's talk a little bit about the negatives, man. Jacqui as a whole, as a character, is pretty bad compared to the whole cast of MKX. She has so many problems. She has no good anti-air. Her down 2, which I use a couple of times in this video, gets beat out so many times that sometimes, or I should say a lot of times, it's not even worth going for the risk, because if you whiff a down 2, that's a full combo punish. She literally cannot deal with anyone that, you know, is jumping around and stuff. I had a hard time dealing with like Kung Laos or Scorpions that jump around, or Sub-Zeros that jump around all over the place trying to cross you up left and right. Her pokes are really bad, not frame wise, because she has a 7 frame down 1, she has a 6 frame down 3, but they have absolutely no reach. I found myself whiffing so many down 1s and down 3s trying to counter poke. You guys know how MK goes. If you block a down 1 and the opponent is negative on block, that means it's your turn to press buttons. And a lot of times people are gonna, you know, counter poke. And sometimes shockingly enough, with a lot of the casts, you cannot do that with Jacqui Briggs because her limbs are so short. A lot of times in these videos, you guys are gonna see, like, I block a down 1, I block a down 3, and I try to counter poke, and it whiffs, and then you get punished for it, and it's really frustrating. I think if they buff anything for Jacqui, it definitely has to be the hitbox on her pokes, because I don't think they can make her limbs longer, you know what I mean? So increase like the hitbox of her limbs, make her pokes better. I think down 4 should be a little bit faster because it's her longest ranging poke, and if it was faster then it would be really good, you know, because down 4 has a pretty good amount of range. But yeah, like I found myself in so many bad matchups with, you know, pretty much every character in the cast, and a lot of people are saying that Jacqui is bottom 3 worst character, right behind you know, I would probably say she's actually in front of like Jason, which is probably the worst character in the game because he has so many more problems than Jacqui. And then it would be like Jacqui, maybe Goro. Goro's actually pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I think Goro's really good. But yeah, she's definitely you know, bottom 3, bottom 5 character in the game because of those problems that she has. She has really good frame traps, man. Like she has a 6-frame jab. She's plus on block on her bread and butter strings, you know what I mean? Like she could be a really good character, but her limbs are really short. She has no consistent anti-air, which is really important in this game. Anyone could just jump in on her for free. And the biggest thing out of them all, her wake ups suck. Like her enhanced moves suck. The best one whiffs if someone is neutral ducking. I don't even know if it's a mid or a high. You know, the one where she charges to the other side of the opponent. A lot of times if people are doing down 1s, down 3s, down 4s, it just completely whiffs. Even if you actually get a hit, it only does like 10% and it doesn't lead to anything else. It might be the worst like wake up in the game. You know, they're all punishable on block if the opponent blocks it. So those 3 things in Mortal Kombat make you a bad character. So even though this variation is really fun and it could be really good in the right hands, like if you're really good at run canceling, you're gonna love this variation. I would definitely recommend it. But Jacqui as a character definitely needs a lot of work, and I hope they give her some more buffs. I think if they increase the hitbox on her pokes, make them useful, either increase the hitbox on her pokes or just make down 4 pretty fast and like safe on block, I think that would really help her, because her down 1 is pretty good. It's just really short. Like I mentioned, if you guys see in this whole video, I'm trying to counter poke someone after I block a down 1 or down 3, down 4, and I can't. Like I'm out of range and I whiff and I could get punished for it. So if you make the down 4, which has a good amount of range, like really fast, like just give it like 8 frames. I don't know how fast it is right now. Give it like 8 frames, 7 frames, and make it like -6 or something like that, you know, where someone could poke after. Just make it a little bit faster, and I would say give her a reliable anti-air. It doesn't even have to be like super good, just give her a reliable anti-air, because she's free to jump in whenever. And the last thing is definitely her EX moves have to improve somehow. Make the one that everyone uses, the one that she charges to the other side, make it safe on block at least. Because it only does like 10% and it doesn't lead to anything else. So she definitely has some of the worst wake ups in the game, which really sucks. But that's gonna be it, guys. Wow, this is actually me talking for a fucking long ass time, because I do love this character. I had a lot of fun recording for this High Tech Jacqui combo, even though I lost a shitload of matches. Obviously this is like supposed to be a highlight video, so I'm not gonna show the losses, but I'm gonna admit I did lose a ton of fucking games, but I was having fun while doing it. Like some characters I lose games and I'm frustrated. With this character, I'm like, yeah, I'm having a good time trying to frame trap these guys and run cancel and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Enjoy the rest of the, I believe, 1.5 matches here, or this might be the last match. But I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I will see you guys next time.
Another day, another beatdown.
Jacqui wins.